Sports exclusive. Local sports are on iTalk 1067 and online at iTalk1067.com. Local sports is presented by Sholo Ford.
The 40, the 30, the 20, 10, touchdown Cougars. Kicks it out for Reisdorf. Reisdorf got the three.
Fastball grounded to third. Backhanded fair ball thrown home.
It's a fair ball. No one covering third and scooting over. Casey Kelly blocked by Greatness.
Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Black Diamond Auto Glass, Sunrise Park Resort, Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, and Octopus Car Wash. And now, local sports on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Presented by Sholo Ford. This is an iTalk 1067 Sports exclusive. Local.
Friends up in the White Mountains, because it's hot and we're sweaty down here. I don't think anybody up there would even care to be down here.
Right.
Watching state playoff softball. So we just want to give a shout out to all of you up there shoveling snow.
If you're joining us on the radio, we got clear skies here, just a little breezy, but
it's beautiful.
Couldn't be much better than this.
No, and it's going to be a great day, Blake, today for some awesome. AIA 3A Girls Softball Championship right here from Rose Moffett Field in Phoenix, and so looking forward to it.
Ron, got a couple of things to talk about before we kick the game off today. One of those is the Summit Healthcare Medical Regional Center report, and that's an injury report today. So with an advanced diagnostics department and outstanding orthopedic and physical therapy teams, Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. And so for our injury report, Ron, you got a chance to talk to a couple of the coaches beforehand, and are they reporting anything?
I had a chance to catch up with both coaches, actually, and the only injury to report actually was from Winslow, and their coach had just mentioned that Macy Cunningham, who was a key player on their team, actually hasn't played all year. She's out for the season, actually, with an injured ACL. But other than that, had a chance to catch up with the Empire Ravens coach, and he said they're all healthy, ready to go, and so we're looking forward to this matchup. It's a number. Let's see. Let me look at the seeds here. We got a number 12 seeded Empire versus a number 5 seeded Winslow, and so Winslow, the higher seed here this afternoon from Rose Moffett Stadium, taking on an Empire team.
So that is our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Thanks, Ron. And so a couple other things we want to cover is our Ace Hardware pregame keys to the game. And so Ace Hardware, of course, has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you get locked out of your car, you just need a key replaced any hour of the day or the night, any night of the week. Call Ace Hardware, your helpful place, with 3 locations, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. And so, Ron, we got a chance to watch both teams really warm up today.
Yeah. Let me just hit the first one, and it's key for everybody. First key to the game is, sun protection, because it's sunny out here. Again, just want to kind of mention that for those of you who are listening in the White Mountains.
We can't stress that enough.
We can't stress that enough. We're just thankful to be here. But on a serious note, keys to the game. This is playoff softball. This is a big stage. These girls are in the bracket of down to 16 teams here at Rose Moffett, and they get a chance to go for it all. And so when you talk about playoff anything, you're talking about less up. When I caught up with the Winslow coach, he did mention that he felt like the draw that Winslow had gotten with Empire and the draw that Sholo had got, which is the game we're going to broadcast next, had gotten with Sarita, were really tough draws. Even though the seeds seemed to be a mismatch, that they were really tough draws. And so we're looking forward to 2 exciting back-to-back games here from Rose Moffett. We want to thank you guys for joining in.
That's right. So that's our Ace Hardware keys to the game. And just a reminder that they do have a 24/7 locksmith. So next time you're locked out of your car, you just need a key replaced any hour of the day or the night, any night of the week. Call Ace Hardware, your helpful place, with 3 locations, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. And we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. and we'll continue the pregame show. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball. iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Welcome back here to Phoenix, Arizona. We're at Rose Mofford Field. It's a beautiful, sunny, perfect day out here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're watching the Winslow Bulldogs take on
the Empire Ravens, the 2017 AIA Softball 3A State Championship. Blake, it's just great to be here. Awesome afternoon here. We want to thank everybody for joining us in.
And Ron, you got a little bit of information earlier, too, about the Rose Mofford Field. And
yeah, it's pretty interesting. Rose Mofford, I didn't know anything about her. I guess I'm lacking. I'm from Indiana, so I'm lacking my Arizona history. You're from Texas.
I'm from Texas, yeah. So
we have excuses, even though we didn't pay attention in the classes we were in our respective states. But anyhow, Rose Mofford, the first female governor, I was talking with the groundskeeper here, and she shared with me a whole lot of information. She's been here for 30 years, and she had a chance even to be here on the day that these fields were inaugurated and were given over to. It used to be the Queen Creek fields.
Cave Creek
fields, and now it's Rose Mofford. And she said that she was a real sweet lady, the first governor of Arizona, so that's quite a neat backstory. She passed away last year, but she said it was quite an honor. Rose Moffort's from Bisbee, and she was one of the first female professional softball players in the state. And so anyhow, yeah, I did catch up with some of the facilities, maintenance crew, and some really great people down here. It's a really well event put on by the AIA and by the folks here from Rose Mofford. So we're on the best field. She also mentioned that this field here, if you notice, if you're catching some of the sites, is actually redone. The field that we're on, field number 1, is redone by the Arizona Diamondbacks. One of the first softball fields done by them, and dedicated to JJ and Kelsey Putz, who the field is named after. So looking forward to a great game here today. Thanks for joining in. Winslow Bulldogs taking on the Empire Ravens.
Very good, and we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back with the starting lineups and the national anthem, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7, worldwide iTalk1067.com. We'll be back in a minute.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. It's easy.
AIA Girls Softball 3A Championship here. Welcome our viewers online, and those of you who are following us on the radio, looking forward to a great matchup between the Winslow Bulldogs and the Empire Ravens. They're at the coaches meeting right now. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball. iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. In just a minute, we're going to be turning it over to the public address announcer for today's
Fans on behalf of AIA
lineups.
Tournament Director Dean Besser. Welcome to Rose Mofford Sports Complex, field number 1 in our softball playoff game today between the Empire Ravens out of Vail, Arizona, and the Winslow Bulldogs. And now, fans, the lineups. First for the designated visiting team, the Empire Ravens. The non-starters, number 00 is Emily Perry. Number 3, Reagan Grassi. Number 4, Kaylee Betterham. Number 5, Odalis Garcia. And number 20, Lene Doty. Starting in right field for the Ravens is number 2, Morgan Purrier. Now, fans, have your scorecards ready. Here's the starting lineup for the Empire Ravens. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 1, Emily Shreves. Batting second and playing left field, number 26, Noelle Carr. Batting third and catching today, number 16, Emma Garbett. Batting fourth and playing center field, number 15, Jaden Duncan. Batting fifth, the DP, number 7, Mackenzie Kirkland. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 8, Celine Pacheco. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 22, Annabelle Ramirez. Batting eighth and pitching, number 4, Jaden Romero. And batting ninth and playing first base, number 28, Hannah Brink. The Empire Ravens are coached by head coach Shannon Woolridge, assistant coaches Candace Tegas, Patrick Carr, John Candido, and Chris Clayton. Now, fans, the designated home team, the Winslow Bulldogs, the non-starters. Number 5, Ariana Quinones. Number 7, Charisse Beatty. Number 9, Maricela Gonzalez. Number 11, Alana Padilla. Number 14, Taylor Butterfield. And number 18, Adriana Yazzie. Starting at third base today for the Winslow Bulldogs, number 12, Alyssa Barton. And now, fans, the starting lineup for the Bulldogs. Leading off and catching number 1, Gabby Gonzalez.
AIA girls softball.
Batting second and
3A.
playing left field, number 6, Sierra Wilcox. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 10, Morgan Thomas. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 8, Jordan Johnson. Batting seventh and pitching, number 15, Justine Butterfield. Batting eighth and playing second base, A.J. Ohako. And batting ninth and playing center field, number 3, Harley Scott. The Winslow Bulldogs are coached by head coach Kelly Fifelski, assistant coaches Meady Smith and Brent Limer. And now, fans, to honor America, please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the
And welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, home of Rose Mofford Field out here. We're Here with the AIA Softball State 3A Championships, Ron Sholo-Ford presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com as we watch the home team, the designated home team, the Winslow Bulldogs, take the field for the first time, getting ready to kick off the first inning.
Well, it's a beautiful day. It just doesn't get any better than this. You know, excited for these high school athletes, these girls, to be able to be out here and be in the, you know, the state championship, the field of 16. One of these teams that are on these fields today, competing today, are going to take home the trophy at the end of the deal. And so, you know, this is a great stage, a great moment for these high school athletes. And as we talk, we have Justine Butterfield, the pitcher for the Winslow Bulldogs, are warming up. Looks like she's throwing hard today. She's looks like she's got some stuff. She's going to be bringing it. And first batter up to bat for the Empire Ravens is going to be Emily Shreves. She's a shortstop, and so we're just about ready to kick things off here. I want to thank you guys for tuning in on the radio and on the web. If you have an opportunity and you haven't been checking things out on the stream, we've got our White Mountain Youth production team down here doing an amazing, fantastic job to bring you the sights, not just the sounds, but the sights of this game. And we're about ready to get things kicked off. You can tune into that game. You can go to the YouTube page. You can also go to iTalk1067.com and check it out. We've got lots of fans here from Winslow and from Empire Ravens, and we're ready to kick this thing off, Blake.
So as Justine Butterfield steps up to the mound, she's going to throw in pitch number 1. It'll be low in the dirt for ball 1.
Looked like she had some trying to do a little bit of a curveball into there. She throws hard.
Emily Shreves is up to the plate. The second pitch is in for strike number 1. One and 1 the count. Here the pitch is in. It's hit a dribbler between the pitcher and the catcher, and Shreves makes it to first base safely.
Yeah, that was a nice. You know what? For those of you who can't see it, it was like a bunt, a full swing, but hit on like a bunt. And boy, she really advanced down to first quickly. Emily Shreves got down quickly. She might as well have bunted it. She got down there fast, and that's going to be a base hit. The first base hit for the Empire Ravens gets a man on first base.
And Noelle Kerr is up to the plate.
Nice
pitch is in, strike 1, and catcher's going to throw down to first base, check the runner, Emily Shreves, but she makes it back to the bag safely.
Let me tell you, that's Gabby Gonzalez behind the plate. She's throwing it down to first from a squat. I mean, she's got an arm.
So one runner on the bag. Pitch is in, is fouled up off out of play behind the backstop for strike 2.
Again, we want to thank you guys for joining us. We're from the bright sunshine, Phoenix, Arizona. I want to welcome our wintry guests from the White Mountains that are up tuning in to this Winslow Ravens game.
Pitch is in high outside, and catcher Gabby Gonzalez is going to check again the runner at first base. She's not going anywhere, Ron.
I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody's going to steal on Gabby today. She's intimidating.
Pitch is in, and contact's made, high pop fly in the infield, and the second baseman is backing up, going to make the routine catch. It's A.J. Ohako for the play right there. That'll be out number 1.
Ohako easily fades back and catches that one. And again, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame, but you know, catching those routine balls and doing, you know, having an error-free game or least amount of errors as possible is important when you come into tournament time. There's no, you know, all these teams that are left, 16, are no joke.
Brings to the plate Emma Garbutt in number 16, and she fouled off the first pitch for strike 1.
Yeah, Garbutt way ahead of the pitch on that one. A little bit of a changeup that cranks it down the left base line.
So 1 out, runner on first base, Emily Shreves for Empire.
Garbutt hitting .442 on the season. She's played in, you know, she's played more than any other player. She's played 32 games.
And contact's made. It's hit between the infield and outfield. That's going to drop for a base hit for Garbutt. There's a blooper pop fly just between the infield and outfield. Too deep for the infield to grab and too shallow for the outfield to come in and grab. So that'll put Emma Garbett on first base and Italy Shreves up to second.
Again, we saw the second baseman there getting called off of the play, and as the outfielder came in, and that's a base hit right there. Again, no errors. This is a nice hit there. Get a two men on. We got a lady on second and first base there for our graphics crew, and
pitches in. It's a little bit high for ball one to Jaden Duncan at the plate.
I'll tell you what, I think Gabby Gonzalez behind the plate, she's been impressive so far. She's got everybody on edge. Even the pitcher, when she throws it back to her, it's like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
I know. 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes is the count to Jaden Duncan up at the plate. Runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be low for ball two. Wow. And again, Gabby's going to check the runner at second, but unfortunately the throw was off. It'll get out in the outfield, and that's going to advance Emily Shreves to third base.
And we're going to go ahead and advance Garbett down to second base. And that's the first error. I'm going to give that error on the shortstop there. Nice throw. Maybe she wasn't expecting it, but either way, advances the runners. Pitch on the way. Nice pitch. Low. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out to go here. We just got this thing kicked off. We're at the top of the first inning. Winslow Bulldogs in the white and the Raven Empires. The Empire Ravens. That's better. The sun's getting to me, Blake. And she pops it out. It would have been a foul ball, but she pops out to the first baseman there for out number 2. That's going to bring up our next batter. Pitch is on the way. Little high. Ball called. Mackenzie Kirkland now up to bat. Mackenzie is batting .400 on the season. She's got 20.
Pitch is in for
20 hits on the season.
Strike 1. Nice inside pitch. Justine Butterfield bringing the heat right there.
Oh, I tell you what, she can throw. Been impressive. We've seen, several softball games this year, and without a doubt, this girl's throwing harder than anybody we've seen.
And the ball's in play for Kirkland to pop up in the infield, but that'll be fielded by the second baseman, number 4, Ohako, and that'll retire the side for the Bulldogs. Will be up to bat next. We're going to take a quick break here to listen to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Need hats, shirts, or
Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com. And as we've gotten this game kicked off here in Phoenix, Northland Pioneer College wants to remind you that when it comes time to start off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition rate in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. And we'll bring the Bulldogs up to the plate. Gabby Gonzalez up. First up, as you watch a strike 1 come by, delivered by Jaden Romero on the mound.
Gabby, a big hitter here for the Winslow Bulldogs. She's a senior. She's batting .552 on the season.
Pitch and ball 1 on the outside low corner. 1-1 the count. Again, no score here as of yet. The pitch is in, fouled off, out of play on the third base line, up kind of past the bleachers.
Bottom of the first inning. You know, Blake, how long do you think it'll take for these girls to shake off some of their nerves?
I tell you what, the pitchers are doing fantastic.
Yeah, you know, this Empire pitcher, Jaden Romero, not throwing quite as hard as the Winslow pitcher, but still bringing it, painting the corners. That one looked close, but it was a ball.
So that'll put her at a full count here, 3 balls, 2 strikes for Gonzalez. And here's the full count pitch, and it's drilled, line drive out into the outfield. That's going to hit the fence, all the way to the fence, and Gonzalez rounds second base safely. She stays at second, is held up. Just a great base hit.
Nice shot there by Gabby. Again, you see why she's the senior stud here for the Winslow Bulldogs. Girls hitting .552. That's actually her 15th double on the season.
Solid contact by Gabby Gonzalez, bringing up Sierra Wilcox, number 6, for the Bulldogs up to the plate. So no outs, 1 runner on second.
Wilcox hitting .341 on the season. See if she can bring home her teammate on second base.
And here's the pitch, and it's high outside for ball 1. Catcher Emma Garbutt doing a great job of standing up and just checking the runner. Doesn't throw it down, but gives her a fierce look, that's for sure.
Yeah, quick bunt attempt there, trying to throw off the Ravens with a quick bunt. But you know, the first and second baseman did a great job there. Ramirez and Brink coming in on that bunt.
So 1-1 pitch. It was high outside for ball 2.
Pitch on the way.
Pitch is in and it's hit back up towards the pitcher, but the second baseman will field it successfully and throw it out.
Wow, what a play there by Celine Pacheco to her knees, grabs that ball and makes a throw from a squatted position to first base for the out, but it do advance the runner over to third base. And so now here with 1 out, Winslow with an opportunity to break onto the scoreboard here in the bottom of the first inning.
Bringing up Brooke Williams to the plate. We'll watch strike 1 come by. So runner on third base, that's Gabby Gonzalez. 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. 1-1 on the count to Brooke Williams. Pitch is in the dirt outside. The runner's going to head down for home.
Oh,
but
you know, Blake, I want to point out, so the runner goes back to third, but I want to point out Winslow was smart. Before the game, they came back here. I couldn't tell what they were doing, but they were throwing balls off this backstop. And they could see how quick the balls were coming off the backstop right there. Runner almost got caught because she failed to realize how fast that wild pitch would come off the backstop, but she gets back safely.
And the 2-1 pitch is in for a strike. It hits the outside corner, and that'll put the count at 2-2 for Williams. 1 out here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Is high outside, but Williams goes for it and strikes out.
Oh, wow. That's a big pitch.
Great placement by Romero. Has the batter down in the count, 2-2. Throws a high outside fastball and just gets her to bite on it.
Yeah, you know, now all of a sudden, you know, they face potentially having somebody stranded on third here.
First pitch in to Wilson is watched strike for strike number 1.
Wilson, senior on the year for the Winslow Bulldogs, excuse me. She's batting .405 as she steps up. She's got 34 RBIs on the season.
The 0-1 pitch is out high and outside for ball 1.
If she can score this RBI, there will be none bigger than the 34 others that she's had this year, because this is state playoff softball right here.
Well, just her stance at the plate is one of confidence.
Oh, nice pitch. You know, similar to a off-speed changeup we've seen from the Sholo pitchers at times. You know, just really catching this batter off balance.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the count to Wilson. The pitch is high. She check swings but does not go around, so that'll be ball 2. Gabby Gonzalez still held up at third base, 2 outs. 2-2 on the count to Wilson. Pitch is in high outside. That'll be ball number 3 to full the count up here.
For those of you checking in with us, we're happy to have you here. And we've got the bottom of the first. We've got a man on third with 2 outs.
And Wilson's going to step out of the box for just a second, regroup here.
So those of you who are seeing the graphic online, our first base runner is actually all the way over to third.
Pitch is in for ball number 4. That'll put Wilson on first base. So we have runners on first and third. Runners on first and third now, with 2 outs for the Bulldogs. And the catcher, Emma Garbett, is going to go up to the mound and have a quick chat with Jaden Romero just about the circumstance. Bringing up to the plate, Morgan Thomas. We have Tara Wilson on first base and Gabby Gonzalez on third base. And Morgan Thomas up to the plate. 2 outs, first pitch is in, swung on and missed by Thomas for strike number 1. So the Ravens find themselves in a situation of some possible runs coming in here from the Bulldogs. Second pitch is in, but it's outside for ball 1. 1-1 on the count to Thomas. Here's the 1-1 pitch inside for ball 2. And Tara Wilson's going to take off for the steal, but gets thrown out by the catcher, Emma Garbett, and that'll retire the side for the Bulldogs. We'll be back in a second. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk106.7.com.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable...
It's hot. Rose Mofford Field here.
Beautiful, dude. It's
Ron, we were bragging about the weather earlier, but now I'm a little bit warm.
Yeah, I'm warm. I think I'd rather be shoveling snow back home. Wait, no, that's not true either.
Yeah.
We want to say hi to everybody, including our families who may be tuning in. So,
that's right.
You know, so sorry, girls.
Kelly and Darcy.
Yeah, we're down here. We're down here working hard, you know, watching softball, state playoff softball. So welcome back. Man, what I missed what just happened right there, Blake. We had an error on the base path.
No, we had a
Nice
runner
play.
caught stealing.
So
the catcher threw her out at second base, and so now we are still scoreless. Oh, my gosh, and that's going to bring Celine Pacheco to the plate, and she drills one. First pitch in to the outfield for a base hit. I mean, just a solid hit.
Bam, what a hitter. Now you can see kind of, you know, some of that, some of the danger in this Empire Raven team that the coach from Winslow was mentioning, even though they're, you know, seated down, I think, 13th or 12th in the tournament. These girls, they came here to play.
So no outs. That'll put a runner on first already to kick off the second inning, and brings up Annabelle Ramirez to the plate.
Whoa.
And first pitch in again. She drills it, but it's going to go foul off the third baseline, and she just got a little bit ahead of that pitch. But I'll tell you what, 2 hitters right back-to-back first pitch in. And
if she puts that one in play, look out. I mean, she cranked that down the third baseline.
So no outs here. We have a runner on first base. That's Celine Pacheco, and Annabelle Ramirez up to the plate.
You know, I'm just going to put this out here, Blake. If we have anybody listening here from the field, we could use an umbrella. It's hot. So we got a man on first base.
The pitch is in, and it's high for ball 1. 1-1 on the count.
So if you're tuning in, you're watching online, just pretend that runner that's on third is actually on first, because she's not in scoring position yet. We'll get that graphic fixed for you here in just a second.
Pitch is in. It's popped up really high, just past the infield, and the center fielder is going to come in and make the catch. That's Harley Scott. Will make the out for out number 1 and retire Annabelle Ramirez.
It's a nice routine play there. Again, it's a little deceiving here because they have a temporary fence put up. This is normally a slow pitch softball field, but here for the state playoffs, they got it down into regulation here for the high school girls.
And the pitch is in, and it's fouled off by number 24, Jaden Romero.
Let me just take a moment and thank our White Mountain Youth Production crew. I mean, these kids are solid. They come down here. They're all Sholo students with us today. Come down here, and they've been a pleasure to be with, pleasure to work with, and they're doing a great job bringing you guys the sights of this AIA 3A State Championship softball matchup.
1-1 on the count as Gabby Gonzalez will check Celine over at first base, but she makes it back to the bag safely.
Again, Gabby's impressive. She doesn't even have to get out of her squat to throw a ball anywhere. She could probably throw it to the center fielder from that squat position.
And the 1-1 pitch is delivered. It's high for ball 2.
Camden was talking with us earlier in the year, Blake, about how if you get enough speed on the ball, you can actually get it to rise. And I'm pretty sure that that Justine Butterfield for the Winslow Bulldogs is making that thing rise. She's throwing hard.
So 2-1 on the count. Here's the pitch, and it's called strike, looking a low pitch, but in the strike zone nonetheless.
Paul Hancock from the White Mountains behind the plate today, doing a great job.
Good to see Paul.
He's got
2-2 the count, 1 out. We have a runner on first base for the Ravens.
Although I'm pretty surprised he didn't shave come down here. He's got his White Mountain beard on.
And she drills one. It's a high pop fly, but it's out to the left field, and that'll be caught by Sierra Wilcox. Makes the routine play out in left field.
We're going to have to ask Paul about that. He had his grizzly beard on all the way down. I figured he would shave here in the desert, but anyhow. See, you can listen to a lot of broadcasts, Blake, but no broadcast can bring you commentary like that.
Well,
commentary about beards.
He's probably wondering about you. How come you didn't grow the hair out for sitting in the sun? You know?
Speaking of beard, we want to thank Jared back in the studio.
That's true. And the first pitch in to Hannah Brink is low for ball 1. So 2 outs here if you're just tuning in. 1 runner on base. That's Celine Piquecho over at first base. And Hannah Brink up to the plate. 1 ball, no strikes on the count. And the 0-1 pitch is called strike up in the strike zone. The runner takes off to steal second, and Gabby makes the throw in time, but a little bit high, and so she'll stand up safely. It is recovered by the players with no more damage, so we've got a runner on second base now. 1-1 on the count. To Hannah Brink. And here's the pitch. It's inside, but she swings for strike number 2.
Ravens with a runner on second. Be interesting to see here with 2 outs if they can have a little 2-out rally. Get that runner on. They left 2 on base in the first inning.
Still scoreless here at the top of the second. And here's the pitch. It's swung on and fouled off back into the backstop by Brink as she hangs on to that 1-2 count.
So if you're watching this online, you see our base path graphic there. We're going to take that runner up to second base. The Ravens have an opportunity to score on a base hit.
And the pitch is drilled out towards left field, and it does look like it's going to drop foul.
Wow.
Just foul off the third base line, and again, that just about hit the fence in the air, Ron. The field is deceiving, like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
So the runner will be held up at second base, a foul ball from Brink. One ball, 2 strikes on the count, still 2 outs here in the top of the second inning with the Ravens up to the plate. Runner on second base, and here's the pitch. It's high for ball 2, and Gabby Gonzalez is going to throw down to second and check the runner who had a decent lead off, but she makes it back to the bag safely, however, just barely safely. Great throw by Gonzalez as she stands up quickly and fires one back to the second baseman. So here comes the 2-2 pitch, and Brink will go down swinging for strike number 3. That'll retire the side. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. We'll be back in a few.
Prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
And welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. At the Rose Mofford Field here as we're watching the 3A state playoffs and checking out the game between the Winslow Bulldogs and the Empire Ravens as we enter the bottom of the second inning. Morgan Thomas is up to the plate. First pitch is in for ball number 1. As she hits one to first base, a little dribbler, and that'll be out number 1 for the Bulldogs as Hannah Brink makes the routine play over at first. Bringing up number 8 to the plate, Jordan Johnson. So 1 out here, the first pitch is in, and
Blake, look what I scored, man.
Looks like it got a hit by a pitch here.
Oh, ouch. She'll shake it off quick. Is Johnson gets down to first, take a little bit of a timeout. While we take that timeout, Blake, I'll just have an opportunity to thank the Winslow fan that allowed us to score this sweet umbrella, dude.
Wow, geez,
So,
Ron.
you know,
Take back all the stuff I just said about you on the air.
I don't have many friends, but when I can manage to sweet talk somebody into an umbrella, that's a great day.
It's a good day.
Now maybe our stuff won't overheat.
So we still have 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning, and we've got a runner on that's Jordan Johnson, who was hit by a pitch just a second ago, looked like above her elbow possibly. 1 ball, no strikes on the count to Justine Butterfield. Up at the plate and watches strike 1 come by, hits the outside corner. And Emma Garbett will check Jordan Johnson over at first, but she slides in and makes it back safely.
Butterfield, a sophomore. She's batting .255 on the season. She has had some RBIs, 17 of them.
And she watches strike 2 again come in and hit that outside corner, just like we saw last pitch. And you got to wonder if Romero is playing that corner.
Oh, most definitely. She's much more of a finesse pitcher than the Winslow pitcher.
Even that pitch was a high pitch ball, but almost like that was intentional as Emma Garbett stands up to throw the runner out if she was to steal second, an anticipated steal pitch. That pitch is high and outside, and that'll fool the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Butterfield.
1 out, 1 man on. You know, these teams have threatened. They've got runners. Haven't been able to take advantage of any of them yet.
And a ball is outside. Unfortunately, that'll put Butterfield on first and advance Johnson to second base. So we got runners on first and second now. Only 1 out here as the Bulldogs are starting to get something happening. And they're going to bring in a courtesy runner for Butterfield. That's number 5 on the Winslow team.
Looks like it's going to be Quinones, if I have that right. So we'll check that in just a second. If it is, she's a junior.
Ariana.
Quinones. Wow, nice hit right up the middle.
And that's Oaxaco for the Bulldogs.
There's going to be a play at the plate. No.
She drills one up the middle, first pitch in, and is going to advance all the runners to make the bases loaded.
Bases loaded. If you watch it online, you can fill in all those boxes, bases. This is going to be a big opportunity here with one out for number 3.
Harley Scott.
Harley Scott, who Harley, just some statistics from her season. She's batting .319. She's had 91 at bats.
And Ravens and Bulldogs going to take a quick break up at the mound and checking things out for the Ravens as they're assessing the situation. You've got one out here, definitely potential for a sacrifice play.
Yeah, you know, it's smart. You can call a little bit of a timeout, regroup just a little bit and go ahead. There's a little bit of levity here in this situation here, the bottom of the second inning with one out. Bases loaded for the Winslow Bulldogs. And again, great opportunity here for Harley Scott to make something happen.
She steps up to the plate. She's a lefty, and we'll watch ball one come low outside.
Again, right here from Mose Moffett Field, 3A state championship tournament, game number 1 in this field of 16.
Pitches in as she goes to a slap stance and watches strike 1 come in. So 1-1 on the count. Pitch in for strike number 2 as she again steps up into the forward position of the batter's box, Ron, and doing that slap approach.
She's going to slap one right here. Oh,
and here it comes, and it's hit, but it's foul, just off the third base side.
That was close. Tell you what, that would have scored 2 runs easily.
You've seen this happen. We watched this over at Snowflake a couple of weeks ago, Ron, where they have a runner in scoring position. They're looking for basically a sacrifice play to get a runner around in that slap position. And the pitch is in, and it's drilled to third base, and they will make the force out at home.
What a play. I'll tell you what, it's a sharp play there by the third baseman, just catching that ball and throwing it home. Almost looked like the catcher pulled her foot, but Paul Hancock behind the plate, he's got his eye on it, and another opportunity there, but base is still loaded here now, only with 2 outs. Nice play there by Quinones, third baseman.
First pitch is in for strike 1 to Gonzalez up at the plate. And the 0-1 pitch is drilled into the outfield. A grounder that slips by first base. A runner's going to come around to score, and the second runner will come around to score, advancing all of the other runners. That'll put Harley Scott all the way around to third base. So Ariana Quinones comes in to score, and Oaxaca comes in to score.
So there we go. We have a potential candidate there for our Beeler Orthodontics straight line drive of the game there to break this thing, finally to get some runs on the scoreboard here. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile. Nice hit there by number 1, Gabby Gonzalez. Gabby, you know, she's the leadoff hitter. She's a .552 hitter, and certainly she's going to be someone we're talking about at the end of this game if the Bulldogs can pull this game off.
So here comes Sierra Wilcox up to the plate. She had a ground out earlier in the first inning. She watches strike 1 come by, hits that outside corner. Oh, 1 on the count. Here comes the pitch, and it's a little bit low for ball 1. So still 2 outs here. 2 runners on base, and the 1-1 pitch is hit. High pop fly just past the infield, and it looks like the center fielder, Jaden Duncan, will make the routine catch to retire the side. So we'll take a quick break here. You're listening to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7, and worldwide, iTalk1067.com.
This is an
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Moffett Field here in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Sunny day, slightly breezy, probably about 80 degrees, I'd guess, Ron.
Gosh, I'm going to check. I can do some weather reporting here, no problem.
And Ron scored us a sweet shade umbrella.
Yes, we want to thank that Winslow fan. You're watching, you know, Mr. Winslow fan, you may be back home watching this back because you can replay all these videos.
That's true.
Check it out. We want to thank you, you know. Thank you for hooking us up with this nice, sweet umbrella so that we could get a little bit of shade here. I know our White Mountain friends are shoveling snow, but we're trying to get out of the sun.
So if you are just tuning into the game, we had quite the inning as the Bulldogs ended the second inning, putting some runs up on the board, and that'll be 2-0.
73 and sunny, baby. Living the dream right here. This is great. Taking in some AIA 3A state championship softball.
Emily Shreves up to the plate, watches ball one come in low. And as we start off the third inning, Northland Pioneer College wants to remind you that when it comes to start your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition rate in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. And here comes the 1-0 pitch to Shreves for a strike. As she watches that pitch come by.
Shreves, earlier in the game, hit a single.
1-1 pitch is in and low in the dirt, ball two.
On the season, Shreves is batting .333. According to the statistics provided by the coaches onto Max Prep.
2 balls, 1 strike, and Shreves put it in play. A high chopper grounder to the shortstop, and she will throw it over, but Shreves outruns the ball.
She's quick.
It is
saw
quick.
Her earlier. We saw her earlier. She advanced on a base hit, a little kind of a full swing bunt first, and she's fast. She's maybe one person that could steal on Gabby Gonzalez.
So no outs. Noelle Kerr up to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a fly out earlier, and Shreves on first base, and she drills it. That is going deep. It's going deep, and it does land just before the fence. One hopper into the fence, and that's going to move Shreves all the way around to third, and that's a double for Kerr.
I'm really surprised that Shreves didn't advance further on that hit. She must have held up a little bit.
She might have thought it was going to be caught.
Held up a little bit, thinking that it may have been caught. But, what a great hit. Clear out to the fence, down the third base line. Probably a foot fair.
Emma Garbett up to the plate now. Runners on second and third base. Runners on second and third. But Emma Garbett up to the plate. No outs here in the top of the third inning as the Ravens try to find an answer to the Bulldogs' action in the second inning. First pitch in, ball one.
Yeah, and typical of playoff action. You know, they come out, they didn't get their heads down. They go down 2-0, but they come out swinging and hitting. Butterfield trying to mix up some pitches here. Catch him off. Which is smart because Blake, you know, if she just comes out there, she throws hard, no doubt harder than any pitcher we've seen this season in softball level. And but you still got to mix it up. If you don't mix it up, those batters are going to time it up and they're going to hit it hard and far.
2-0 the count, and here's the pitch. It's hit. Grounder back up to the pitcher. Fielder's choice. She's going to throw it to throw it to home to try to get the runner who is coming to home, but she doesn't get her. She gets up almost like in a rundown situation. She runs back to third. They slide back in, but she makes it safely. So all runners end up being safe.
It's kind of like a sacrifice there. Nicely played by the Empire runners. You know what was crazy about that? If you're watching, if you're watching online, rewind it and look at what the second base runner did during that little exchange. That's Noelle Kerr. She came up and she was all the way up to about 15 feet from third base, just watching what was going to happen with the runner in front of her, which was really interesting. You're listening to AIA State Championship Softball right here. High school sports softball presented by Show Low Ford and I Talk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top, Show Low, and on 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopanicki communication station.
Jaden Duncan up at the plate now. 0 for 1, a fly out earlier, and the first pitch is in the dirt for ball number 1. Bases loaded for the Ravens and still no outs here in the top of the third inning. If you're just tuning in.
It's looking good for them. Outfield not in, outfield playing straight up.
Pitch is in, it's hit high, just past the infield. Center fielder number 3, Harley Scott's going to come in and make the play, and all the runners will be held up.
You know, you'd think, Blake, on that one, you're looking for maybe a sacrifice fly, but that fly ball has to be a lot deeper in order for the Ravens third base runner, I think it's Shreves, it's on third base, to be able to make a go at that. And so she holds up, and Emily Shreves still remains on third, and Winslow finally getting their first out here in the top of the third inning.
Bringing up Mackenzie Kirkland to the plate. Pitches in, and it is hit the outfield, but, oh, man, Ron, that must have just landed on the line.
No, I got to tell you, that was 6 inches, and it was close. She took that inside pitch and took it to left field, just like you should with that kind of a pitch. And tell you what, that would have been a great way to put a score on the board there. Ravens 0, Winslow with 2.
If you're Kirkland, that's exactly the hit you're looking for. Just, I mean, like you said, 6 inches to the left, and unfortunately for her, falls just foul.
Bases loaded.
1 ball, 1 strike on the count to Kirkland. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's swung on and missed for strike number 2.
Butterfield, the sophomore pitcher, the Winslow Bulldogs, she's got a 3.35 ERA. She's won 10 games this year, given up 5.
And the pitch is popped up. It looks like an infield fly, and it'll be an infield fly rule, but the second baseman, AJ, will catch it anyways.
You know, we've talked about it in previous broadcasts, Blake, but just it's not always bad if the batters can get the bat on the ball. You want to let your defense play.
Right.
And that pitch was placed in such a way that she couldn't catch up to it and popped out to the infield. And so a nicely placed pitch for an out.
So far the Bulldogs are climbing up out of this hole that they've dug themselves in the top of the third inning. They originally had bases loaded with no outs, and now we're sitting here bases loaded with 2 outs.
2 outs, and both teams with 3 men left on base here in this game. This is going to double that.
And Celine Piquecho hits one in the outfield, and that will drop.
Wow.
It's going to bring around 2 runners to score to tie things up, and that's going to be Emily Shreves and Noelle Kerr will come around to score.
Morgan Thomas in right field for the Bulldogs ran up on that ball, but she couldn't catch up to it. You know, it's one of those plays, Blake, where you got to decide, am I going to go for this thing or am I going to back off of it? And she went for it and just missed it, went underneath her glove. And, you know, real heads-up play there by our center fielder, Harley Scott. She actually had her back. She wasn't, you know, so many times at levels of, you know, competition, you have players who may stand around, you know, a little bit, but Harley doing a great job going to back up her right fielder, Morgan Thomas, to get that ball to lessen the damage on that. Still ties it up 2-2.
Yeah, and as these Ravens were climbing up out of this hole that they were, the Bulldogs were climbing up out of the hole defensively in this inning, Ravens able to answer the call right there, and that was all about placement. I mean, that ball, it wasn't a hard hit ball. It would have been. It definitely wasn't an error on anybody on the Bulldogs. It just happened to drop right.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have placed it better. So.
Yeah. She could have played a one hop and maybe saved a run on that one. But 5 for 10. Thank you. So the beard behind the plate letting us know of a substitution here. We got number 5.
Is that on defense, Ron?
Coming in for number 10. We'll try to figure that out for you guys. Foul ball.
That's not really right here for Winslow. Goodbye, Ariana Quinones.
So right away, the coach putting in Ariana Quinones after that error in the right field. I don't know if it was an error. You know, I got to give it to this girl. She came up on it. You don't want to be aggressive.
Yeah, second pitch is fouled up out of play. I don't know if that's going to hit us, Ron.
No, I don't know, but I don't like the way Gonzalez looked at us when she turned around here like we were in the way.
Man, I was about ready to pack up and move.
Me too. She's a serious player.
So 2 foul balls will put Ramirez down the count 0-2, and the pitch is in, but high outside, and I think that was an intentional try to get her to swing, get out of this strike 3, but she doesn't go for it. So that'll be ball 1 to Ramirez. Still runners on second and third for the Ravens, and they've tied the score up 2-2 here in the top of the third. Swung on and fouled up, off out of play again by Ramirez.
So we have, just to catch you up, we have Ariana Quinones substituting in for Morgan Thomas. Morgan, you know, I don't know, coach could have really, she looked like she was really shaken up after missing that, and, you know, maybe take it out for emotional reasons.
And
Gabby.
Another foul ball up. That was in play, but up against the fence. Gabby runs for it, but just missing it.
That's probably the quickest trigger I've seen a coach in a softball game, you know, pull somebody out. So, you know, again, probably just to coach her up, talk to her about that, what she can do differently next time.
And again, a foul ball up on the first base dugout side, up and out of play.
We want to welcome all of our viewers from across the White Mountains and across the world. iTalk1067.com bringing to you right now the state championship play from the Rose Moffett Field in Phoenix, the 2017 AIA 3A State Girls Softball Championship.
And pitch is in low for ball number 2. And if you are watching online, there's actually only 2 men on base, 2 runners on base. Runners on second and third.
We got a field of 16 here. We'll go over them in just a second as we get started here in the first round.
And the pitch is again fouled off by Ramirez. This one a little bit harder hit off past the third base dugout.
So we got a number 1 seeded River Valley. Number 2 seed is Yuma Catholic. Number 3 seed, Sholo Cougars. The number 4 seed here in this tournament is Safford. Number 5 seed for the lineup here is going to be Winslow, who you're watching today. Number 6 seed we see is Castile.
It's 2-2 on the count to Ramirez. Here comes a 2-2 pitch, and she finally gets a hold of one, drives it out.
That's a double.
That's a ground rule double, a 1 hopper over the fence, and that'll score 2 more for the Ravens.
Wow. Tell you what, she smoked that one. It's like a 1 hopper over the fence, and we mentioned it earlier, Blake, but this is a regulation size slow pitch softball field, so they have a temporary fence up, and the temporary fence kind of looks like a tennis net, about that size. It's not real tall, maybe 3.5 feet. If you're watching online, you could take a peek at it. But not much a ball would bounce over. So again, ground rule double called.
And that'll bring up Romero. Jaden Romero to the plate. She fouls off pitch number 1. And I had counted before that hit by Ramirez. She had at least 6 foul balls before that. And it shows you just the perseverance that she had on finding her pitch. And she finally does and drills one.
Wow.
Turns out good for the Ravens. So that'll put them on top 4-2 here in the top of the third inning. Still 2 outs. And Ramirez is on second base. 0-1 on the count to Romero. She fouls off a second pitch up and out of play.
Just to continue to set the stage here in our first round of the 3A state championship for the girls softball right here. Number 7 seed is Snowflake. Number 8 seed, North Point Prep. Number 9 seed goes down to Payson. Number 10 seed is Chin Lee. Number 11, Sabino. And number 12 seed is Empire, who's playing Winslow right now.
And the third pitch is in the dirt outside for ball 1.
13th seed Push Ridge, 14th seed Sarita, who we'll see taking on Sholo in just a minute. 15th seed Page, and number 16 Florence, who will be playing the number 1 seeded River Valley River Cats.
So we'll bring the count to 2-2 here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Romero up at the plate for the Ravens. And we got a runner on second base. That's Annabelle Ramirez from that ground roll double that she had just a second ago. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's swung on and drilled out the outfield, but it'll venture foul off the third base side. A hard hit ball. And again, kind of a similar scenario as we had last batter run, where we've got already 3 foul balls on the count to Romero as she's battling in as a pitcher-batter battle here.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder, like.
And she does make contact. This is going to be a blooper in the infield. Unfortunately, an error on the shortstop. She almost has it in her glove, and it pops out, Ron, by Jordan Johnson, unfortunately.
Yeah, Jordan Johnson and Alyssa Barton on that play actually kind of got in the way of each other and caused a little bit of a problem. So that's an error, and those are the kinds of things that, you know, Winslow has to regroup from and not let happen, because this inning's gotten out of control here for them. We've got a score of Empire Ravens 5, Winslow Bulldogs 2. So 5-2 here with a man on first.
And they're going to bring the head coach for the Bulldogs is going to come out to the mound and just kind of talk about things, regroup a bit. That puts Jaden Romero on first base. It was a blooper hit. Unfortunately, an error caused by Johnson, shortstop on the Bulldogs, puts her on first and brings around the runner to score, which was Ramirez, who did have a great hit earlier.
Yeah, you know, just to take Jordan Johnson off blast a little bit, Alyssa Barton, it was almost like more of a communication error between those two, and I would say she should have caught it. You know, she probably thinks that she should have caught it, but there was a little bit of confusion there over by third base. So who has that? And again, in baseball, softball, you know, shortstop, anything they can get to, they usually take. But that one was
It was
clear
behind the third baseman's head, but she was backing up towards it to catch it.
Yep.
Wow, first pitch into Brink is outside, but again, Gabby Gonzalez just firing one down to first base to hold Romero on. She makes it back to the bag safely, but not by a lot.
No, I tell you, she's got an arm. This catcher, something else.
1 ball, no strike, and the pitch is in for a low pitch on the inside corner. It'll be ball 2.
No, it's going to be real important. Here we got Butterfield as a sophomore. She's pitching, and it's real important that, you know, even especially for these youngsters, to not lose, not to get too frustrated and lose hope. We're early in the game here. It's 5-2. Yeah, they've made up some errors and made some mistakes here, but they're going to have an opportunity to get back in this game. And, you know, these two teams did face each other earlier in the season, Blake, back in March. And on that one, this Empire team did come out on top 14-2. And so that's a little bit of something like that coach was saying. Hey, I know the seeding looks like you know, not a good matchup, but this Empire team's already beat Winslow this year.
3-1 on the count. We still have a runner on first base, Jaden Romero. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. It's inside corner, called strike 2. That'll bring the count to a full count here.
Winslow on the season 21-8. Empire on the season 22-9-1.
And the pitch is hit. Contact made. It's about out towards the fence, but center fielder Harley Scott will make the catch for out number 3 as the Bulldogs retire the side here. They'll be back up here for the bottom of the third. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7, and worldwide, iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Phoenix, Arizona, as we're here at Rose Mofford Field.
Beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you guys for joining us. You can see here by the White Mountain Youth Production sites that we got lots of sun, and it's a beautiful day here for some playoff softball.
5-2 the score. Ravens on top. Empire Ravens on top. And first pitch is in to Brooke Williams for ball one as we enter the bottom of the third inning. And
strike call.
Next pitch is in, watched by Williams for strike one. 1-1 on the count. Big inning for the Ravens as they took the lead in the top of the third. Next pitch is outside for ball two. Oh, nice changeup by Romero. Just a little bit low, ends up being ball number 3, but man, what a change in speed from the previous pitch to that pitch.
Yeah, it was nice. That's what you got to do.
3-1 on the count, and the pitch was in and called strike two.
She brings a fastball in after that changeup. Romero doing a great job mixing things up. Again, she's a little more of a finesse pitcher than Butterfield.
3-2 pitch is called strike three as she watches it hit that outside corner, and that'll retire her for out number 1. Bringing up Tara Wilson to the plate. And although she walked in the first inning, Ron, you had mentioned that she's had quite the stick this year.
Yeah, Tara.
She watches ball one high.
Tara Wilson, she's a senior. She's played in a lot of games this year, 28. She's hit batting .405 before today's game, and so definitely a batter you want to watch out for.
And she makes contact. It's hard contact, but it's going to go right towards the center fielder, Jaden Duncan, who will make the play for out number 2.
Nicely played as Duncan fades off to her left with a glove in the air. Takes about 10 steps back and is able to catch that ball routinely. Nice play.
So 2 up, 2 down. And it brings in number 5.
Quinones, who had checked into the game earlier in right field. Ariana Quinones, who is a junior here for the Winslow Bulldogs, up to her first time at bat here this game.
0-1 on the count. Next pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
Quinones, a .269 batter coming into this game, but only plays limited roles, playing 17 games played this year.
And pitch inside for ball 2.
Probably a good 4 inches inside. Quinones doing a good job taking a pitch.
Fouled up off into the backstop for strike number 2. So 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Quinones.
Give a shout out to our White Mountain Youth Production team down here with us to bring you this broadcast. Doing a great job, some amazing sights from this game, and we'll get you their names in just a little bit.
And she gets called looking at strike number 3, and that'll retire the side. We'll take a quick break here. You're listening to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk 106.7.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Same.
And we're back here. Thanks for listening to Show Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk 106.7.com. If you're just tuning in here, we're at the AIA 3A championship playoffs in Phoenix, Arizona, Rose Mofford Field. And as we start off the fourth inning, Northland Pioneer College wants to remind you that when it comes to start your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. And 5-2 on the score, Ron.
State championship softball action here. These girls see if the Winslow Bulldog girls can come out and have a little bit better inning here at the bottom of the fourth than they did the bottom of the third, where they kind of wheels fell off, and I think all 5 runs were scored. No, actually 3 more runs were put on the board there at the bottom of the third inning.
First pitch in to Emily Shreves is called strike as she watches that one come by. She's 2 for 2. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And she takes a slap stance and she runs forward in the box and doesn't hit the ball, but that's a called strike 2.
Shreves, I'm surprised. She's a sophomore. She's batting .333, but she's come out here, really performed well today. She's quick.
Quick runner. 0-2 pitch.
Wow.
Low for ball 1.
And that ball, if my eyes aren't mistaken, that ball that she tries to paint on that outside corner has got a spin, a curve spin on it that she tries to spin in on the outside corner.
1-2 on the count. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off into the backstop.
Butterfield throwing for the Bulldogs is only a sophomore. She's solid.
Man, that makes you wonder what,
couple
as a
years
senior,
from now.
yeah, the heat she's got right now.
Yeah.
1-2, and it's hit blooper into the infield, and that'll be caught by the shortstop, Jordan Johnson, for out number 1.
Almost another communication error, and coach is having to talk with second baseman AJ Oaxaca. Again, AJ almost came over into Jordan Johnson's territory to try to get that pitch, and so again, these guys, the fielders, they just have to communicate. And you know, shout out to Jordan Johnson, number 8 for the Winslow Bulldogs. She covers a lot of ground.
She does call her off and makes the play.
Jordan Johnson, a freshman for the Bulldogs.
2-0 on the count to Noelle Kerr up at the plate, who's 1 for 2. Had a huge double out to the fence earlier. So no runners on, 1 out. Here's the pitch, and again she drills one out to center field, but that'll be right to Harley Scott, who makes the routine out for out number 2.
These Bulldogs with only 5 seniors on their team.
Bringing up Emmett Garbett to the plate.
Garbett earlier, a couple singles. She's 2 for 2 on the day. Coming into today's matchup, she's batting .442. One gets past the catcher. You're not going to see that very often.
Ball 1 was in the dirt, like you said, got past the catcher. Now that may be the first one that we've seen.
Yeah,
do
might
that.
be the last. Gonzalez, a lefty.
Pitch is in, popped up, Ron, that's just behind us.
Oh, yeah, that hit somebody around the noggin.
Did you see that?
Hey.
She had a water bottle up on her head, and the ball actually hit the water bottle.
She fouled it off. She fouled it off with her water bottle. You're not going to see that happen very often.
Man.
I'll tell you what, these
if
fields.
you were filming that, Ron, you could have been famous on YouTube or something.
Yeah. I never catch stuff like that.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But we might catch a foul ball in the head because there's 3 other fields here. They're flying everywhere.
Good thing you got that umbrella.
Yeah.
1-1 on the count, 2 outs. to Kerr. The pitch comes in outside. I'm sorry, to Garbett.
Change up. Nice change of speed pitch there, barely missing on the outside. And one thing I like about Hancock today, we've had some other games where consistency might have been a problem, but not with Paul. Paul's calling him very consistent behind the plate.
So she'll put 3 balls on the count to Garbett as the count comes to 3-1. There's 2 outs here. Again, score 5-2. 5 is the visiting Empire Ravens, and 2 the home team. And that'll put, that's ball number 4, putting Garbett on first base.
Garbett with a nice at bat there, fouling one off, but fighting and battling and drawing a walk.
Jaden Duncan up at the plate now. She's 0 for 2. Had a couple of flyouts in the game earlier, and you got to think if you're Butterfield on the mound right now, man, it's a little bit of regret there. Falling down in the count, you had 2 outs, nobody on. It would have been a perfect way to just end that inning.
It was a classic battle.
And she will drive it. Duncan drives one up the center all the way to the fence, and now it's going to advance Garbett all the way to third base. It'll be a double for Duncan right away.
Nice hit by Duncan. Duncan coming in to the game today, batting .411. She hits her 7th double on the season.
Wow. So
After
now
flying out twice.
Just like that, man. Now we have runners on second and third base for the Ravens, 2 outs, and it brings up Mackenzie Kirkland to the plate.
McKenzie also flew out a couple times in this game, and Kirkland is batting .400. She's a senior. Wow, she's got a quick bat. Not a very big girl. She's probably 3'5". she can really turn on that thing. You know, you talk about strike zones on shorter people are tough.
Yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike. She fouls one into the dugout side of the home team, third base side, and she'll watch ball 2 come in. It's interesting how quick these Ravens can put runners on scoring position.
I agree. And they're hitting the ball well. They're forcing Winslow to make some errors.
And then just like that, Ron, you just mentioned it, as she drills one, a grounder in the outfield, but that'll bring around 2 people to score. And you got to wonder, there was a little bit of holdup from Harley Scott in center field, waits to throw as the second runner comes around to score.
Yeah, Gabby Douglas behind the plate is frustrated. She really wanted to see a play there coming to the plate, but the center fielder, Harley Scott, was not able to gather. It chose not to throw it home on that play, and so Gabby Gonzalez, didn't get the play at home like she had wanted, and just like that, the Ravens are going to sit Justine Butterfield down, and we're going to bring into the lineup number 14,
Taylor Butterfield.
Taylor Butterfield.
You gotta wonder if those guys or girls are sisters.
I'm pretty sure that they are.
Well, we'll take a quick break here. Just a 30-second quick break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Sheila Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares. Need hats, shirts, or...
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to Sheila Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk106.7.com. As we had a quick pitcher change there, we had Justine Butterfield on the mound for the first 3.5 innings, as we're in the top of the 4th, and we're going to bring in Taylor Butterfield now.
So the Butterfield sisters are working the mound today, and we'll try to look up some statistics here.
We want to give another shout out to our White Mountain Youth Production.
Crew doing a great job. Who we got, Blake?
We got Jace Nicholas, Zoe Paxson, Leanza Jeffries, Kyler Hill, Alicia Joyner, Jimmy Maxwell, and Jacob Shriver. And she didn't put herself on the list, but we got, oh, there it is, Stephanie Fragoso in the truck. She
makes it all happen. Stephanie makes it happen.
Celine Paquecho up at the plate now for the Ravens. Watch this ball one come in from Butterfield.
We want to thank those of you who take the time to write us notes and thank these youth that come out here, you know, and do such a great job. These students do a great job to bring the sights to those of you who can't make the game.
Paquecho pops one up into the deep infield on the first base side, and that looks like number 4, Oaxaca, will come over and grab the out for out number 3 and retire the side. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. We're at Rose Mofford Field here, listening to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 1067 and worldwide, iTalk1067.com. As we enter the bottom of the 4th inning, Jordan Johnson up to the plate. Score is 7-2, and that'll be the called visiting Empire Ravens up on top 7, and the called home team Winslow Bulldogs with a score of 2 as Jordan Johnson watches ball number 1 come in on the outside.
First time up to bat, Jordan was hit by a pitch. So she's officially 0 for 0 today.
And second pitch in high, but swung on and missed by Johnson. That'll bring the count to 1-1. As Jaden Romero remains on the mound for the Ravens. The pitch is half swung, check swung, Ron, by Johnson, but she did make contact with it still,
yeah,
so that'll foul it.
Those are the ones you want to take back.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a cheap foul ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch is in the dirt for ball 2.
Gotta put the umbrella down, Blake. I need to get one of these sweet snacks that Camden Smith set us up with here.
I'll tell you what.
He treats us good.
Does a good job. Will bring us to a full count here, 3-2 to Jordan Johnson. As the Bulldogs try to get something going here.
You know, we want to give another, that's a walk right there. Another shout out to just the great production crew that we have back in the studio. J-Rod, the beard. Man, he's getting her done.
Jared, I don't care what they say about you, man. You are good, so we appreciate you.
We got his back. We got his back.
So Johnson walks, putting a runner on first base to the Bulldogs. Brings up number 14 for the Bulldogs. Taylor Butterfield now.
Taylor is a freshman. Man, talk about a duo that's going to be making an impact in Winslow softball for a lot of years.
She swings for strike number 2. And they're going to, Garbutt's going to throw down and check the runner at first, Jordan Johnson, but she makes it back to the bag safely.
She's a freshman and her sister's a sophomore.
And pitch in, swung on, missed, retiring her, Butterfield, for strike number 3. Bringing up number 4, AJ, to the plate. AJ played a pretty impressive game so far defensively, Ron. We've seen her make some great plays over at second base.
She's all over the place, second base and everywhere else.
The pitch is popped up high in play as the runner tags at first, and the out will be made by, looks like the right fielder for the Ravens, Morgan Perrier.
Morgan did a good job covering some ground there to get over to that one. And it's going to be important for Winslow here with 2 outs. They're going to run out of time here eventually. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Bringing up Harley Scott to the plate. Lefty, she hits one up the middle, but the shortstop for the Ravens grabs it. Emily Shreves and makes the play out of first base. Great play. Just a great way to dig out of that inning, and that'll retire the side. We'll be back in a few. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 1067 and worldwide iTalk1067.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. We're here at Rose Mofford Field. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 1067 and worldwide iTalk1067.com.
Doubleheader.
Bringing up Annabelle Ramirez to the plate for the Ravens. They're on top here 7-2 against the Winslow Bulldogs. And Taylor Butterfield has taken the mound last inning.
She's a freshman.
And Ramirez rips one to left field. It's going to drop.
Wow.
For a base hit. She'll go 2. She's up at the back. She rounds around to 3. Looks at home, but has held up at third base.
Wow, that's, another, I hate to call it an error, but it really is. It's an aggressive error. Let's put it that way. The left fielder really trying to make a play on that ball, and it gets under her glove. That's Wilcox. It gets underneath Wilcox's glove, and it takes a little bit for Harley Scott to get all the way over there to collect that one. And so, that's a great way to start off our 5th inning here. This is Northland Pioneer College. Reminds you when it comes to starting off your college career, choose a college with the lowest tuition in the state of Arizona. It's Northland Pioneer College.
So that puts a runner on third base for the Ravens, just like that. No outs in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1 to Romero. She steps up to the plate, and she did make it on base last time up at bat, but it was on an error.
She flew out first time up and had an error the second time up. So
1-2 on the count to her.
Romero batting .327 on the season prior to this game.
2-2 the count. She was going to pop one up in the infield foul territory, but it is caught by number 12, Alyssa Barton, on third base.
Great move there by Barton.
Which will put an out on the field.
It was over far enough that number 8, Johnson, couldn't reach it. Otherwise, she'd come over there and snag it.
So Hannah Brink up at the plate now. 1 ball on the count, and she's 0 for 2 so far.
Wow.
Swings on and hits it to the outfield. 1 hopper to the fence, and that'll bring around Ramirez to score. 1 more on the board for the Ravens, and she'll end up with a double on that hit.
It just feels like here at top of the 5th inning, it feels like Winslow is kind of broken, if you will. They kind of have their back broken here just a little bit. These Ravens, they are smacking the ball around the field. Nice shots there by our White Mountain Youth Production crew, as you see the Winslow Bulldog infield meeting behind their freshman pitcher, Butterfield, supporting her, letting her know, hey, that's all right, we'll get it back. But this deficit, Blake, it's to 6 runs now. Those are tough to come back from.
8-2 on the score now. Ravens on top, and they still have a runner on second base now, and that was Hannah Brink, who just hit that double. And again, we see Gabby Gonzalez throwing the ball down to check the runner at second.
And not just, because for those of you who can't see, not just throwing it, but throwing it from like a squatted position. A strong arm.
1-1 on the count to Emily Shreves up at the plate. She's 2 for 3.
2 singles.
And
Nice.
she slaps one out into shallow left field, just over the third base reach for another base hit. And that'll advance Hannah Brink over to third base.
Yeah, slap's a good word to describe that, because she didn't really take a full swing, but just enough to hit it over the infield for a base hit. First and third are runners.
Bringing up Noelle Kerr again to the plate. She squares around a bunt, but she'll pull back. But regardless, the pitch is called strike, and that's going to advance Emily Shreves to second base now. So we have runners at second and third.
Honestly, I think Kerr just stuck that out there to try to distract Gabby Douglas just a little, or Gonzalez, excuse me, a little bit.
Absolutely. Pitch low in the dirt for ball 1. One on the count, 1 out. And we've got a runner on second and third. Pitch is hit, popped straight up, in kind of behind the backstop, and Gonzalez will go after it to catch it, but is unable to catch it.
He's calling a fair ball.
Yeah, it looked like that. The way that hit the glove and fell off of her glove, it did fall back into fair territory. So that'll actually load the bases up.
Nothing hurt.
That's an error.
I know Gabby would have wanted to catch that, but nothing hurt. 1 out, got to force it home here. Bases loaded, bringing up to bat. Number 16, Garbett. Garbett has done a great job here this afternoon. She's 2 for 2, 2 singles. Coming into today, she is batting .442. Chance to really break this thing wide open here.
2 balls in the count to Garbett. No strikes, bases loaded here in the top of the 5th inning for the Ravens, who are on top already, 8-2. 1 out. Scarbett's 2-0 on the count, and we'll watch ball 3 come in low. So this is a situation, again, being a freshman, maybe she hasn't faced all that much, where you've got bases loaded, you're down in the count as a pitcher, 3 balls and no strikes. Here comes the, again, 3-0 pitch, and it is a ball 4. Unfortunately, that will bring around.
It's another run.
Another run to score.
It's going to keep our bases loaded, but
making it 9-2 here.
That's tough. You're looking at a pitcher, freshman. She's no doubt, 15 years old, 16 maybe, and it's tough.
And Jaden Duncan slaps one out, or hits a pretty decent drive out towards center field. Shallow center field is going to drop in for a base hit, and it will score Emily Shreves.
What do you do? I mean, the Ravens are just smacking the ball everywhere, every kind of pitch, and you can really tell that the Bulldogs here need a little bit of break, and coach senses that. He's going to come out and have a talk.
So we'll take a 30-second break here. You're listening to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Hebron. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back. You're listening to Shiloh Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com. As we are still in the top of the 5th inning, Ravens on top, 10-2 now is our score, and Bulldogs from Winslow are going to bring in another pitcher. This will be their 3rd pitcher this afternoon round. They're going to put Jordan Johnson on the mound, who was previously playing shortstop.
Jordan, another freshman for these Bulldogs, and so, you know, although it disappointing if you lose this first round game here in the state championship round, the Sweet 16 round. But, man, the softball program for the Winslow Bulldogs is looking bright with a lot of young superstars on this team. They're going to have tournament experience.
And, Ron, we've moved around some players. We've put Sierra Wilcox on short now, it looks like. And I can't see who's out in left field. If I could get a number on the jersey, maybe by our White Mountain Youth Productions, we could report on that for you.
18 for 14.
Thank you. That's number 18 out in left field for the Bulldogs. That's going to be Yazzie. Adriana Yazzie is going to be out in left field. Bulldogs just trying to stop the bleeding here. 1 out, top of the 5th inning. They're down 10-2. Want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Bases loaded, pitch to McKenzie is high and outside for ball 1.
Whether you're tuning in via the radio or via our live stream on iTalk1067.com, welcome.
The second pitch, again, high outside for ball 2. Bases loaded. Only 1 out here. 2 balls, no strikes on the count as Jordan Johnson throws her first 2 pitches of the game. And the next pitch in is a very hard pitch fastball for strike 1, called as McKenzie watches it.
It's quite an arm for a freshman.
2-1 on the count. And the pitch is in. A chopper up over the head of Johnson, makes it all the way to the outfield, and that'll bring around 2 more runs to score.
Wow. 12-2 now. We're getting close to that score that we had earlier in the season between these two when the Ravens, back on March 4th, in a Wrangler Classic Invitational, were able to take care of the Winslow Bulldogs 14-2.
So runners on first and second now. They just scored 2 more runs, 12-2. 1 out still remains in the top of the 5th inning, bringing up Celine Piquecho to the plate as she watches strike 1 blow by. And Johnson's got an arm.
She does. And you talk about chemistry between the catcher and the new pitcher. Gabby Gonzalez wanted to throw that down to second, and the pitcher almost stepped up and grabbed it.
And the pitch is fouled up off out of play over the Ravens dugout on the first baseline for strike 2.
I want to welcome in all of our White Mountain friends listening in up in the White Mountains. We're down here 72 degrees, Blake. It's not bad. A little hot in the sun, anyhow.
Yeah, 2 degrees hot, you know. Pitch is high for ball 1.
I've never seen a runner at second base get checked in on so much. Gabby Gonzalez throwing it down to second again.
She's got a cannon.
She does.
1-2 pitch is high for ball 2. Again, runners on first and second base. Piquecho up to the plate. She's 2 for 3 this afternoon. So far, Ravens just have these hot bats. Here comes the pitch, and it's drilled outfield. It looks like it'll venture just foul off the first base side as the count remains 2-2 with 1 out.
Almost another breakout hit there. We got runners on first and second.
Two-2 pitch is fouled up and again off out of play. And again, I want to remind you, you're listening to high school Softball presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top, Sholo, and on 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopaniki communication station. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the count to Paquecho, and the pitch in high for ball number 3, bringing it to a full count. Tell you what, these Ravens batters really battling and making the pitcher work for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They do. And, you know, they're willing to battle, and they're willing to, it's just not coming easy. I mean, they're going out and getting after it. But
3-2 pitch is hit. Blooper in the infield pop up, and that'll be out number 2, caught by, again, AJ. Ohako over there on second base. She's doing a great job today.
Again, on that substitution, we had Wilcox subbing in for shortstop, Sierra Wilcox, for the Bulldogs.
So Annabelle Ramirez up to the plate now, fouls off pitch number 1 on the first base side. 12-2 still our score here, top of the 5th inning. Ravens on top against the called home team, Winslow Bulldogs. No balls, 1 strike on the count, 2 outs now. Runners on first and second for the Ravens. Here comes the pitch to Ramirez, and it's going to be low outside. And Gonzalez again will throw it down to second base to check the runner. Almost second baseman wasn't able to get there in time for the throw. She was a little bit ahead of the second baseman, and thankfully they dove and caught that ball. Saved an error there.
I tell you what, if you're on a defense with Gabby Gonzalez, you got to be ready.
Pitch in for strike 2. 1-2 on the count. Runners on first and second. Ramirez 2 for 3 on the afternoon. The pitch is in. She hits it hard to shortstop, and it's bobbled by Sierra Wilcox, and that'll put runners on first and second and bring around number 15, Jaden Duncan, to score.
Wow, it just keeps going in the Ravens' favor here. The Bulldogs, you know, this inning, they need to get out of this. They got 2 outs, 13-2 now is your score. Empire Ravens on top by 11 runs, and this is more and more feeling like it's going to be out of reach for the Bulldogs unless they can, and not just because of their potential, because I'm sure they have the potential to get back in this game. Paul, what'd you say?
0-0 for 24.
Thanks. 0-0 checking into the game. Paul Hancock, the umpire, doing a great job letting us know. But it's not just because they don't have the potential to get back in the game, Blake. It's more like when things have struggled, and if you can't persevere through it, you just don't have the demeanor. You know, you don't have it. You got to reach down. They're gonna have to dig down and really try to find something offensively to get back in this game. Well, first of all, get out of this inning and then get back into this game.
That's right. Emily Perry up at the plate, subbing in, and she's 0 for 2. No balls, 2 strikes on the count. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and she drills it to shortstop. The shortstop will make the play. Sierra Wilcox will do a force out at second to retire the side. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com. We're back here covering the Empire Ravens versus the Winslow Bulldogs.
4 for 2 for Empire.
Okay. Got a substitution in for Empire. Number 4 coming in for number 2. Mark that in your scorecards.
And we've also got number 0 on the mound for pitching now. That's Emily Perry.
So we'll make our substitutions here in our books, and you know, let's get back to this game. This is the 2017 girls 3A state championship, round number 1, the Sweet 16 round, and this is there's levity here for the Winslow Bulldogs as they start off this inning, the bottom of the 5th here, with Gabby Gonzalez. There's probably no other player on the Bulldogs team that you want to start this inning off with a senior leader like Gabby. So we'll see what she can do. And
she drills one out to left field, but that will be caught.
And wow.
Great play. That's going to go in the books right there by Noelle Kerr. Just a sliding
catch to save the day.
And that's going to go in for the runnings, Ron, for the play of the game, the Deemer's Smooth Glass play of the game from Noelle Kerr.
Well, right here in the middle of the 5th inning, Sunrise Park Resort reminds you that they're closed for the winter. They'll be reopening Memorial Day weekend with tons of fun. Summer activities including the longest zip line in the state of Arizona. Go to sunriseskipark.com for more details. That's sunriseskipark.com. We're right here in the middle of the 5th inning, and Sunrise Park Resort, I want to thank them for being our 5th inning stretch sponsor.
3-0 on the count. Three pitches, 3 balls to Sierra Wilcox up at the plate now, and she'll watch strike 1 come in. I'm looking for a walk there, I believe, and so that'll bring the count to 3-1. 13-2 the score on the board as we sit in the bottom of the 5th inning. And again, pitch in, strike 2 is watched by Wilcox. So 3-2 on the count, and she'll throw one in the dirt and putting Wilcox on first base. Bringing up number 13, Brooke Williams, to the plate for the Bulldogs. Brooks 0 for 2. She's got a couple of strikeouts under her belt this afternoon so far. But looking to get something started here. Watches the ball that comes in as a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 on the count. Runner on first base. Sierra Wilcox runner on first base for the Bulldogs as Williams swings and misses for strike number 2.
Got a runner on first. Winslow needs an opportunity
and
here.
She'll hit one up, dribble her up to the second baseman, who makes the force out at second, fielder's choice.
Bringing up to bat next, number 16 for the Winslow Bulldogs, Wilson. Wilson is our flex hitter today. Tara Wilson walked earlier and flew out earlier.
And the 2-0 pitch is outside for ball 3.
Just a reminder, Blake, if you're tuning in today, you don't get just one game, you get 2.
That's right.
And so up next is going to be the Sholo Cougars taking on the Sarita team.
And she'll walk Wilson, putting 2 runners on the bags here.
Runner on first and second here with the opportunity. This has to be a big, if this is going to be this is going to be the biggest 2-out rally potential here for the Bulldogs. They're down big, 13-2.
And the Bulldogs actually need 2 runs here to avoid being a 10-run rolled. Pitch is in for strike number 1 to Quinones.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't even on our radar. I want to thank a fine listener for giving us a heads up.
Tell you what, listeners are all out there, Ron.
They are.
As Ariana swings and misses for strike number 2.
Well, that just got real then. This has just got real.
So this
is
is
the last
it.
out.
This is it here.
They have to score 2 runs right here.
0-2, and she will strike out swinging for out number 3.
Wow. That game ended quicker than I even thought it was going to, because we just realized the 10-run rule is in play.
So that'll do it for the game here, with the visiting Empire Ravens on top 13 to the home team Winslow Bulldogs on the bottom 2. Final score 13-2 here. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back here listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
This one, it's bad over here. This is the side it's bad on. It's never bad over here.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com. We're here at Rose Mofford Field in Phoenix, Arizona. A beautiful day out here as we just watched the visiting team, the Empire Ravens, take on the home team, the Winslow Bulldogs. And the first matchup of the afternoons thus far, putting a score of 13-2 on the board, and getting run ruled. It didn't look like a tight game in the beginning, and then all of a sudden we have a run rule.
Yeah, so there you get some nice shots of our umbrella that we scored from a Winslow Bulldog fan. So
that's right.
So just kind of caught us by surprise, but it didn't catch the players by surprise. They knew the levity of that last at bat, and again, a great game early on, but the Ravens with like just some tenacious bats and not giving up, and not even in the battle, just being persistent and coming out on top.
That's right, Ron. So we got a couple things to go over here in our post-game show as you're listening to iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. And one of those is our Beeler Orthodontics Live to Smile, Love Your Smile straight line drive of the game. And so, Ron, we were talking about this earlier. A lot of drives, a lot of play offense from the Ravens, but one of the we wanted to mention as far as the drive of the game, you had that. Go ahead.
Yeah, right off the bat, we'll go with the drive of the game. Gabby Gonzalez, because she broke the game open. We were stalemate early, and in the bottom of the second, she hits a 2-run hit to be the first one to attack the scoreboard, to get on the scoreboard, to take it to 0-2 for that early strike against the Ravens. Turned out to be their only 2 runs of the game.
That's right. Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was the first 2 scored by anybody. So congratulations to Gabby Gonzalez.
She's our straight line drive of the game. Be the orthodontics. Live to smile. Love your smile. Congratulations, Gabby. And so that'll bring us to Deemer's Glass. Smooth as glass play of the game. Ron, need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass. Call 1-888-GLASSMAN. And as far as our Deemer's Glass, smooth as glass play of the game, who'd you have pegged for that?
We're gonna go straight to a play that Gabby Gonzalez was also involved in, but she was involved on the other side of it. We just witnessed it. Our Deemer's Glass play of the game goes to Noelle Kerr, left fielder. She steals a hit from Gabby right there in the bottom of the 5th when they needed runs. They were down 13-2. She come up with just an amazing play. I mean, go back, rewind it, and check it out. Just an amazing play to stop a potential comeback go at it. And so we want to congratulate Noelle Kerr for being our Deemer's Glass play of the game.
There you go. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass. Call 1-888-GLASSMAN. And we'll take a quick break here, a couple minutes, and we'll be back with your Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. The player of the game, of course, brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain, go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, south of Pine Top on Highway 260. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for detail.
Rose Mofford Field here, where we just witnessed the Ravens from Empire take on the Winslow Bulldogs in a score of 13-2, who were run rolled towards the end of the game there. And so the final score of 13-2 as we come to our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. The player of the game, of course, brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain, go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. And as we discussed over the break, there were so many great hits this afternoon by the Ravens. It was really hard to narrow it down, but what we really came up with was Emily Shreves, who was the shortstop for Empire, just had a huge bat this all afternoon. going 3 for 4, batting .750 on the afternoon, and just drilling some shots out there consistently moving runners around. And of course, we see a final score of 13-2. So Emily being a huge part of that, keeping the momentum going on the hot bat this afternoon, and of course making scores and points happen. So congratulations, Emily Shreves. You are the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game. And again, the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store is the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing gear, and camping gear on the mountain. Go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. Congratulations, Emily Shreves. You're listening to Sholo Ford presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top, Sholo, and on 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopaniki communication station. As we're here in Phoenix, we're doing a doubleheader today, so we'll take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back here shortly as we come to cover our next game for the afternoon.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of local sports on iTalk 106.7, KNKI Pine Top, and iTalk1067.com. Local sports are also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Black Diamond Auto Glass, Sunrise Park Resort, Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, Deemer's Glass, Dealer Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, and Octopus Car Wash. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 106.7 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without expressed written consent of iTalk 106.7 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com. This has been Sholo Ford's